Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Sunday nights. It's round 10 and it's Catalunya. Is it going to be good or is it going to be bad? Well, time's going to find out when we hit onto the racetrack. Hope everybody is having a wonderful evening this evening. I'm JP. I'm going to be alongside Tom Cairns. As always, he's going to come along for the ride with us once more here as well. I'm going to see what happens once again. Let's bring you up the championship standings currently as well. Lee Aberdeen out in front, leading the way by 9 points. Then you got Antonio Jimenez on 350 with Ludovic Rancon on 299. Andy Flint on 287 with Brad Fulliger. Kevin Zweberstraat in 6th with Beard and Ayan and Julio Palacio. Mamit Taski and Adam Townsman round out the top 10. Jimmy DeSantos, Denny Cornu, Robert Ridgway, Alexi Yukish and Dorian Oruro round out the top 15. Now we only do the top 20. So that's Richard Van Veen, Scotty Taylor, Eddie Amos, Simon Fessy and Matthew Gracie, who snuck into the top 20 this week. Let's bring Tom into the booth and find out what we've got in store. Tom, welcome in, bud. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you. Hot on the back of the IndyCar race we just commentated on. I won't spoil it for those who haven't watched it. But Lee Aberdeen, well, he had a hiccup last week after he basically being the innocent bystander and colliding with Brent Ruiz, who had gone off the circuit and had spun back onto the circuit into the path of him. That's opened up the championship race between him and Tony Jimenez. So it's game on again. There are the drop scores to take into consideration at the end of the campaign. 3 rounds to go. It is Barcelona, Mount Panorama and Monza. 3 legendary circuits.
Yeah, the only thing for me is this track. This track is either amazing, epically incredible racing, or it's absolutely shocking. I have never met an in-between race at Catalunya. It is absolutely bonkers, and I've done hundreds, should I say, around here of comms and stuff like that, and it is just one of them things. It's either all or nothing, and I don't know. I'm gonna wait patiently to find out what we've got going on. 2.894 miles, 4.657 of this one. We've got no chicane, which is good because I don't like that Yankee chicane at the end of these corners. Anyway, Ram's in YouTube chat early. Welcome in, Ram. Thank you so much for joining us. We got 30 laps of action. The purple zone. Now, this is the only thing for me I'm a little bit gripey about this week. I've looked at the briefing and the purple zone goes right out to turn 9. Now, if you're looking at the track map in the top right-hand corner, it is the kink in the middle of the 2 corners. So it goes up through turns 7 and 8, goes up over the hill and down the other side almost. And there's no active overtaking right up to there. Now, I think that's a little bit of a long purple zone, but I'm not in control of this, Tom. What do you think? Is that a long one, or is it just me being gripey and moany?
Yeah, I suppose maybe they didn't start allowing drivers to overtake on the exit of the hairpin of turn 3. That would be a more suitable place there, because it's a long way to go to turn 9 without any active overtakes. So we're going to be in for a long evening of action. Lee Aberdeen ending the qualifying session fastest ahead of Yunus Amal. Last week it was Johan Annette that took pole, but he's not set a time in this qualifying session. I do hope he does take the start, James. He's probably planning a last to first mission here in Barcelona. If he does that, do watch out for him.
I've never seen him before.
I didn't before last week.
Oh, okay. So there we go. Okay. Well, we're going to find out then. Johan, what are you going to do? What are you going to deliver here this week? So are we going to see some epically amazing racing? But first things first, let's bring you up the grid. Lee Aberdeen is your leader with Yunus Amal in 2nd, Tony Jimenez 3rd, and Andy Flint and Denny Cornu. Stefan Dodderer in 6th place with Alexi Yukish, Ludovic Rancon, Julio Palacio, Simon Fessy, Johnny Cazorla, and Bairden Ayan down in 12th. That's a long way down for Ayan. Robert Ridgway in 13th, then Jimmy DeSantos and Mehmet Taski. Then you got Richard Van Veen and Scotty Taylor. Simone Gabrielli and Nguyen in 19th, and Koji Ito in 20th. John McKenzie in 21st, and Albert Harari in 22nd. Nathan Rosso in 23rd, and Clark Williams down in 24th. Moving on is Eddie Amos, Matthew Gracie, Jeremy Boyle, Adam Townsman, Marek Otlovs, and Dorian Oruro. Quinton Mortier, should I say, in 31st. Paul Destelli, Ben Goyette, and Mike Ulsh. Then Christian Vega in 35th, and then Noel Richie Robinson with Johan Ennett rounding out the top 37 machine. Lee Aberdeen sitting on pole position. Hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and people of all ages, because you're going to be in for some epic racing, I'm sure. It's not going to be a Catalunya that I've seen plenty of times where nothing really happens for about the first race at all, and then we'll find out how these guys get on. So, are we ready? We just got to wait for a few more to get onto the grid, and then it's going to be green, 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 and lights out, and away we go. So don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the bells. If you are here, don't forget to say hello and have a good old chin wag with us as the time goes on, as we're going to be commentating on this one. What do you reckon, Tom? Who's going to win?
Lee Aberdeen, providing he stays out of trouble.
Okay. Okay, fair play. I want to see Tony Jimenez take a victory. That would be cool. The defending champion has not won a race all season. Right, 5 lights, ladies and gentlemen, we are green. Cool, blimey, that was a quick one. Green, green, green. You can see it was a quick one as well. Caught Lee Aberdeen out on that start line. Yunus Amal runs down into turn number 1 in second place. Tony Jimenez, then Andy Maverick Flint in behind, going into turns 1. Through the right-hander, through the left, coming out the other side now as well. It's the long purple zone, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to be very line astern right up until this point. I'm a little bit confused about Nathan Rosso gaining 7 places on the start there as well. I know it does say no active overtaking. I'm pretty sure there may have been some active overtaking going on there from this young man further back. After all, he has made 7 places, which is a little bit confusing for anyone to cope with on that one. Through the left-hander. Now on the run down into 7 and 8. Once we go through 7 and 8, it's going to be up through into 9, and then it will be green, green, green officially. Now, here it is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We are going to be green, green, green. It's active, it's racing, it's green, it's all set free. And Lee Aberdeen leading away with Yunus Amal. A little bit confused about Nathan Rosso. They're gaining 7 places, Tom.
Yeah, well, he's going to pick up a penalty because he's clearly not read the briefing before tonight's race had got underway. If he did read it, he wouldn't have made those overtakes. So there's no doubt he's going to be penalised after for making those overtakes when he shouldn't have done.
Yeah, that's the thing. It does say no active overtaking, and it does give a distinction of the rules, of course. You know, you could interpret it as he didn't actively overtake, they ran wide or went off, but for me, I think he's gone and had some active overtaking. Lee Aberdeen leading the field, currently sitting in first place. Not getting away, though, because I can tell you what, Yunus Amal's tucked in right behind him. Tony Jimenez there as well. Zayak in YouTube chat. Johnny Cazorla fan club. Welcome in, Johnny Cazorla fan club. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the bells there as well. So great racing so far. Lee Aberdeen under attack from Yunus Amal. Going to come down into the right-hander at the moment of turn 4. Is he going to be able to make it through? Not this time, either. Tony Jimenez sitting in the back, covered up by Flint. Behind that, then Cornu, then Dodderad and Yukish all fighting out as well. Rosso's got to slow down at the moment on the left-hand side. You're represented by the yellow flag. But we haven't quite got the liney that I was expecting here, Tom. It's been not too bad so far.
It has been too bad. No real incidents as far as we know. I don't think Johan Annette took to the start, so he is effectively out of it, which is a big shame because I'd love to have seen him come through the field. But it looks like Eddie Amos has gone off the circuit at turn number 5, and we're going to see why he has managed to do that. He was behind Clark Williams, and I wonder if he's come together with, is that Pucci Ito to his right-hand side?
He lost it on his own.
Oh, yeah. He's lost it and he collected someone with him. Yeah,
he collected Matthew Gracie, unfortunately for Eddie Amos there. Can't really do a lot about that. He was on his own. He was heading backwards. You know what I mean? You can't give the guy a bit of a break, but this is where the draft's going to pick up. This is where we're going to get going. Weather today is going to be clear. It's dry. It's 37 track temperature all the way through. Down this straightaway we go. You can see north of 248, 49, 50 into the braking zone. Hard down into turn number 1. Lee Aberdeen managing to hold on from Yunus Amal here, but for how much longer and how closer is Jimenez and Flint going to get behind him?
At least Amal knows that Aberdeen isn't exactly pulling away. He wasn't able to stay in touch with Johan Annette last week. Annette was just unbeatable. Even if Aberdeen finished where he should have been, Annette was just unstoppable. But with Annette out of the picture, Aberdeen can focus on getting back towards what he's used to doing, and that's finishing in the top 2, which has done every race apart from last weekend.
Yeah. You know, Johanna is not out on the racetrack, did not take part. Lee Aberdeen still leaning away, Sam out, and then Jimenez in behind that, Flint in behind that with Denny Cornu. Stefan Dodderer is in behind as well, battling away with Yukish and Ranson and Palacio. There's no real gaps all the way through this field at this moment in time. You can see here action further back. There's Simon Fessi going up the inside of Mr. Johnny Cazorla. Unfortunately for the Johnny Cazorla fan club, he has just lost the place there to Simon Fessi. Gaps right the way down. 4.2 seconds to Simon Fessi across the top 11. That isn't big at all, Tom, and the gaps further down are even narrower than that one.
Oh, so close. Very, very close to the field are. And you can just see Aberdeen's at the head of this queue now. And I just wonder when Amel's going to decide to go for it. See more gravel being kicked up on the exit of the last turn. And the driver with the fast up of the race, as we begin the next lap, is Denny Cornu running in 5th position, the Frenchman for the Unity Racing squad. And there we see Fessi, and Cornu has now got a slow down, and he's off the circuit, and he's collided with someone, and that could cause problems for others. We saw 2 go wide there, and there's been a collision, and that's because Cornu spun, Dodderer hit him, and Yukish spun in sympathy.
Yes, pretty much. That hits the nail right on the head there. I don't think there's anything much further I need to say about that one. Somehow sitting in second. Cornu's got a meatball. Oh, that's not going to impress him too much. He's going to have to go into pit lane here through the left-hander. They go in through turn 7, coming through the right-hander of 8. Now that fast run into 9, the blind corner, point shoot, hope for the best, carry as much speed as you can. Aberdeen out in front, Amal sitting in second, Jimenez then Flint behind that as well. The top 4 breaking away a little bit from Dodderer, from Rancon, from Palacio, from Fessi. Further back from that, Johnny Cazorla's got Beard and Ayan for company. In through the left-hander they go of turn 10. Is he going to be able to get here, Beard and Ayan? Not at the moment. He's got Mehmet Teske in behind him, and then Jimmy DeSantos in behind that. There's action all the way through. Ayan is blinking or disconnected. Nope, he's back on again. But he is having a little bit of the www dot issue, because he is just flicking around a little bit there, Tom, and he needs to be a little bit careful of that one.
Yeah, because if it flickers too many times, that'll be enough for him to be kicked out of the session from iRacing. And to be honest with you, I don't disagree with that particular concept, because the last thing we want is accidents happening when drivers keep flickering on and off the screen. Cornu does make it back to the pit lane for repairs, and it's going to be a long race, but he may be able to make up a ton of places before this race is over. And I would expect Cornu, who's had a good qualifying session tonight, to make the most of the track position and try and come back through the field from there. Yeah,
he's only got 1.2 for a second stop. He's going to have a fast repair anyway. Nick Marshall, explain what inactive overtaking is. What, he didn't mean to overtake them? Or you tell me what inactive overtaking is compared to active. Alexi Yukesh is in a... Oh my God, we're in a 3-wide ding-dong. Jesus Christ. John McKenzie, Alexi Yukish and Clark Williams has just gone either side of Mr. McKenzie, as we caught it late on there, but blimey, Clark Williams and Yukish sending that 3-wide, got the job done. He's got a Harari in front of him at the moment with Scotty Taylor and Richard Van Veen. Now through the right-hander they go into turn number 10, through the left. You can see Yukish is on a march here, Tom. He's got the bit between his teeth and he's going for it.
Yep, and whilst he's attacking, he's got Clark Williams. He's trying to fend off. 2 more cars have dropped down the order, and I think someone else has also had an error in this. Oh, that's a big contact. A car went over at turn number 12 there, James. That looked hectic.
Was it? No, that was not Matthew Gracie. He's already been off there. What did you do? Because you've got the smashed side of your car as well. That's with the 91. Oh, they've hit each other and then they got tangled together. That is scrappy. There's Quinton Mortier. And then we're going to have a look and see. I think it was Simone Gabrielli who's got up in the air. It was Gabrielli.
Ooh.
Oh,
and he went barrel rolling.
He didn't even know this was coming. And that's what Gabrielli saw. Dad's end up on his roof.
Someone had locked up and just couldn't slow down. It's not like Gabriel didn't leave any room. He left plenty of room on the inside to turn 12. It was just very unfortunate there was Simone Gabriel. He's back in pit lane now, and that could be pretty much his race done and dusted. And Guyan is also out of the race as well, James. We didn't pick up on what happened to him, as Amal takes the lead from Lee Aberdeen at turn 1.
Yeah, Amal got the job done then. I was just looking to see where it was. Gabrielli's got a meatball on that one as well. I think it may have been Nguyen that had that incident. Scotty Taylor has also had some drama here, so I'm not quite sure what Scotty got himself up to, and I'm wondering if there's a sausage curb that's going to play a part in this. Oh no, he lost it all on his own, unfortunately for Scotty, and goes off the racetrack. But this is the battle up the front as these guys continue to fight it on. We've got Amal, we've got Aberdeen, we've got Jimenez, we've got Flint, we've got Ransom 1.9 seconds back as well. Aberdeen can't get through. Now, from my perspective, if I was this man, I would sit back and wait ever so patiently, and see where I get. If I feel that Jimenez is slowing me down a little bit, I might go for an overtake. Other than that, use the draft. There's a long straight that they can get the draft on. There's a run from 5 to 7 you can get a draft on. From 8 right the way through to 10 you could get pulled along as well. I would, if I was Flint, just stay there and wait for the draft to pull me along.
Yep. He's doing the smart things, Andy Flint. Knows this series very well, knows how the handling of this car works. And he's got Tony Jimenez, second place in the championship. Home event, of course, for Tony. He's going after Lee Aberdeen. I think this is a game of chess now between these 4, which is not the most intriguing sport in the world, I will be honest with you, but it is what it's going to come down to, is whoever makes the mistake, I take advantage. Otherwise, I'm just going to wait back until even like a slight opportunity arises. That becomes the moment where someone like Lee Aberdeen or Tony Jimenez would be able to pounce.
Yeah, chess is, by the way, just to let you know, if you know how to play chess, it can be quite a good game. Just to tell you on that one. Yeah, but from Flint's perspective, I would just use the straightaway here. This is the thing. Use this, pull in. You can see that Amal's on a massive defense. He's hugging the white line tighter than his favorite grandma. If I was Flint, I would just use this and try and stay with them. What he doesn't want to do is get out of that draft. If he gets out of that draft, then Andy Flint, you are done. You're in trouble. You're going to be pulled into the Ludovit Rancon quicker than anything else here. So for him, he needs to make sure that he buries every single apex, every single corner, doesn't make an Andy Maverick Flint mistake and do something bonkers. He just wants to make sure that he can stay with him. If he can stay with him, I think he's in for a shot. Anybody up this end that will be having a great little ding-dong are always in for a good old battle. But there's also lots going on behind him. Dodderer, well, there you go. That's just what's happened. Vessi has just overtaken him, overshot the corner. Dodderer has gone back through as well. Then there's action further back with Cazorla, Bayern and Jimmy DeSantos and Mehmet Taski. They're having their own little ding-dong. Meatball for Yukish, and that's due to the fact that he's been off the side of the circuit. I'll have to try and find out where that was in a minute. But there's lots happening all the way through, and any one mistake from these 4 up here could send them miles back at this moment in time.
Alexei Yukish has got a flag next to his name, and it's the damage flag, and he's dropped down the order. Johnny Casola has also lost time. I wonder what happened to Yukish. Who is he most entangled with this time? Because we know he already had that spin earlier without any contact from anyone when he spun in avoidance of Denny Cornu and Stefan Dodderer. And Casola's dropping down the order, James. I don't know what's going on with him, but he's had an off somewhere.
Oh, he's had a little bit of a palaver. Oh. Question is, how did you end up out there? Hold on. I wonder if Yukish may have been... No. Oh, he got hit on a straight.
Yeah,
that was one of the Turkish racing boys. I'm wondering if it was Taski that may have tapped him here. No, it wasn't Taski. It must have been Bayern and Ayan tapped him and sent him off. Yukish has been off the circuit and down. Johnny Cazorla's off as well. Yukish has been off again. So yeah, unfortunately for Cazorla, Bayern and Ayan gave him a little bit of a love tap. But these 4 still going at it at the front as well. Jimmy DeSantos and Bayern and Ayan. Ayan's just gone through on DeSantos. He's now a Turkish iRacing Formula team fill-in between the 2 breads of Ayan and Taski as they're continuing to scrap as well. That's going to be a very interesting review at the same time. But Lee Aberdeen has got Yunus Amal again, who's brought Jimenez and Flint with him.
And not before long, Ludwig Ransson will be joining that particular party. along with Stefan Dodder and Simon Festi, if they can help it. De Santos has lost the place to Bahidin Ayan in the squabble over 9th place. Denny Corney's coming back through the field nicely so far. He's up to 23rd place after pitting in. So we'll keep an eye out on his progress as the race continues to develop. We're at lap 10 now, so we're approaching third way through, and we're looking at Yunus Amal heading through on Lee Aberdeen into turn 1, and Aberdeen doesn't fight this.
No, it goes through. Does go through there, but I think they've swapped quite a few times, on that one. I think they've been backwards and forwards every single lap. So these guys continuing on. Baden Ayan's got he's got a meatball. Oh, Ayan, what did you do?
Oh my goodness me. That's a big shunt. You don't see accidents there all the time, do you?
No. No, you don't. My question is how and who.
Was that Jimmy DeSantis that ran into him?
Yeah. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to have to do this way for a minute, because that looked a little bit on the suspicious side.
Yeah, if we just go on the onboard, that will give us the idea as to whether...
Now, did he get too close and not pull out, or did he just run him over?
He didn't pull out in time. He didn't pull out in time, did DeSantos. That's on him, unfortunately. Amal didn't do anything wrong, James. That's completely on DeSantos for not pulling out sooner than he did.
Yeah, Ayan's now in pit lane. Unfortunately for him, that's DeSantos has just sent him into the shadow realm there. Just maybe next time look and pull out a little bit earlier. Just did not do that. Yunus Amal, Aberdeen, Jimenez, Flint. Now they are getting tracked ever so slightly by Ludovic Rancon there. And Rancon is coming into the back end of this. He is slowly bringing Dodero, he's slowly bringing Fessi, he's slowly bringing Palacio. If these guys carry on with 19 laps to go, there could be a nice little tidy 6-car fight going on here.
These are coming up towards a bat marker soon, or a few bat markers at some point. And so there's that to play a role in how this race can be decided. Yunus Amal going over, he'll have to be wary of Chat Lemay. He doesn't want a slowdown next to his name, otherwise that's pretty much Lee Aberdeen back into the lead again. He's pushing ever so hard, is the Unity Racing driver. We reach towards the climax to this season. Mount Panorama is going to be an absolute lottery.
Oh, dude, Mount Panorama is pray at the top of the mountain and say thank you when you get down the bottom. That is the only thing that's going to come out of this at the moment, because it is going to be, pray and see what's going to happen. I think at Parfitt, if they get this sort of numbers once again, that these four continue to fight out. They continue to scrap away. Yunus Amal, Lee Aberdeen, Tony Jimenez and Andy Flint. Top 4 in the field. There is a little bit of battles developing with Townsma, but he's not quite close enough at the moment as these guys are fighting out. What has Yunus Amal got to do to hold on to Lee Aberdeen?
Continue playing this game of chess nicely. That's the way to go about it for Yunus Amal, because they're going to keep swapping places as of when it pleases them. Because if Yunus Amal is out of... Well, let's say he drops some speed on the straight because he makes a mistake at the last corner. That's when he'll allow Aberdeen to go, and he won't want to battle it out with him in case Jimenez finds the way through as well. So it's just making sure you just don't jeopardise what you've got.
Yeah, that's the thing. Just don't go and mess up anything in and around. What you want to kind of do is at least try and finish in the 4 if you can. But it's interesting to sit back and look now, and you can see that we've got Amal, Aberdeen, Jimenez edging away from Flint. Flint edging into the clutches of Rancon, but they don't want to fight either, because you need to try and keep up with the guys in front. It's a very interesting game of cat and mouse at the moment, and they've got to make it work, because you don't want to let the front 3 run away.
It won't be too long before we see these go. Oh, you just see Emma going to kick of oversteer out of turn 12, which won't help. He's heading through the fast sweepers of 13 and 14. I just wonder if Jimenez may try and go for 2 for 1 if he's feeling lucky here.
Do you reckon he will?
Yeah, I think he will, because Aberdeen's going for it now. If I was Jimenez, I wouldn't hold back. I'd go for it.
He didn't. He didn't. He held back. Oh, he's got in. Oh, so cool from Jimenez. He got to Yunis Amal. Amal's gone down from lead down to third. Now battling away with Flint. Now it's going to be, can these guys now stay with them? This is it's a very fine balance here, because normally the guys up front do a bunk, and then the next one does a runner, and then the next one, and then the next one, and then it all sort of works out like that as well. So for the fact that these guys are all staying together, and now joined by Rancon, who's now going to be bringing in Fessi and Dodderer and Palacio, this is going to be very, very, very fascinating.
We've got a 5-car fight, which is good to see. 2 of which from the Unity Racing squad. Yunus Amal in P3, Didrik Benson in P5. Denny Cornu is still running in 22nd place. He's a couple of seconds off Jerry Bull in front. Jerry Bull, he may be French like Denny Cornu, but he's racing for the Artendelia Racing Team. What a lovely name that is. That's just a reincarnation of ART, because obviously you see the ART team competing in the junior series of single-seater racing.
Yeah. Well, now Rancon is on the back, and this is where it's all going to get very, very interesting indeed. Now we can see the guys in behind that as well. I haven't come away from this lead battle at the moment because they are still fighting, but Dodderer has lost a place to Fessi. He's now trying to stay with Fessi, who's now trying to catch 2.2 up the road to Renson. Palacio is just dangling on the edge of this scenario. He wants to get involved, but he can't just quite get there. Van Veen's got Scotty Taylor and Koji Ito. Cazorla's got Townsma, Otlov's Gaia and Boyle behind him. So, and Denny Cornu's in a recovery mode, of course, so he's trying to keep up with the back of the packs as well. Is Amal going to win or what, says Brad Fulliger? I have no idea, dude. They are swapping places up the front like nobody's business, and they've changed quite a few times already.
And while we have a group fight for the lead, we've actually got a group fight for 17th position with Johnny Casora at the head of that queue, with the likes of Adam Talsma. Who else have we got in there as well down in that order? We've got Ben Goya as well, who's been overtaken by Marek Ortlovs. And we'll see Jerry Bull and Denny Cornu on the back of that particular group as well. So we've got a 6-car fight for 17th position, which may not sound like the most appealing race position in the world, but it is a genuine battle between those lot. It looks like Johnny Cazorla has had another error because he's tumbling down the timing tower like a ton of bricks, and it looks like he could well be out of this race.
Sausage car for Cazorla. Bang, into the wall he goes. And it jumps back to pit lane. So unfortunately it does look like Johnny Cazorla is done for the day. Tony Jimenez now bringing it in with Aberdeen, Amal, Flynn, Rancon. That gap between Fessi and Dodderer just cannot come down the right way. It's going, anything is going north of the 2-second mark. Mehmet Taski has got Jimmy DeSantos in there, who sent Baden and Taski's teammate off into the shadow realm on a straight, mind you. So is Taski now going to look at trying to get this overtake done cleanly? Please don't do anything crazy as they're headed down to the right-hander of turn number 4. And Taski looks like he's bullied DeSantos off the line. DeSantos is all over the place. He doesn't really know where to go. He's got to look one way, got to look the next. Squeezes Taski. Taski dives. DeSantos has no chance there as well. Now going to be coming back at him again. DeSantos cups back. Taski goes behind once more. In through the left-hander, in through the right-hander. And Taski at the moment and DeSantos having their own little ding-dong.
There's a nice battle of raging between DeSantos and Taski for 9th. Cornu has got through on Bull for 20th place. Next row ahead of him is Ben Goya. And it's the Latvian Ortlovs in 18th, and Adam Telsman at the head of the queue. So you have to say Cornu's recovering nicely through the field as we enter the second half of this Barcelona round of the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League. Just 3 rounds to go, or 3 rounds to go, including this one. Barcelona, Mount Panorama and Monza. It's a 2-way fight for the title between Lee Aberdeen and Tommy Jimenez, who are running 1 and 2. If Jimenez is going to take the championship all the way down to the wire effectively, he's got to try and pass Lee Aberdeen soon.
Yeah, but this is the thing for Tony Jimenez. Never won a race all season. Has got 3 second places, you know, and 3 third places. And that's his consistency. At the moment, it's bonkers with Tony Jimenez. He's never been out of the top 10 since round number 2. Everything from round 2, where he was 20th, has been second, third, 6th. So for Jimenez at the moment, there is a certain amount of sort of an epiphany of consistency there almost, because he hasn't been outside the top 10. But he also hasn't won a race. So, you know, it's a tough one to look at for these guys, really, when you look at it. I'm going to pick up down in Boyo at the moment. He's having to go with Goyette. Then they've both been done by Denny Cornu, who's trying to come through the field. He's got Adam Townsworth from Scudiera Racing Forces in front of him, with Marek Otlovs in behind that as well. So Otlov's sitting in 17th at the moment. Has got these guys closing in. The problem is every time I go away, these guys end up on the straightaway and drafting each other down into turn number 1.
And almost identical lap times between all 5 of them. Simon Festi and Stefan Dodderer are still nose to tail as well in their own battle for 6th place. How long is it going to be before maybe Kuch Ito gets by Scott Taylor, who had that spin at turn 1 earlier, or he sort of locked up and drifted through the first corner? He's back on the circuit in 14th place. Denny Cornu is now ahead of the 2 Canadian drivers of Adam Telsman, Ben Goya in 18th place. He's got Marek Otlovs, who is next. I think Cornu is going to go through on Otlovs at the end of the pit straight here. James Haywood look on the inside, and Otlovs does not fight it.
Yeah, it doesn't bother on that one. Nothing to really fight. Ben Goyette does. Oh, he's coming back on. He's coming back on. Give him room. And Ben Goyette does give Adam Townsman room as well. Boyle in behind that once again. I'm sure there's a French accent on Jerry's name. I just don't have the vocabulary to pronounce it properly. Adam Townsman's got himself a slowdown. He's going to have to be a little bit careful and try and get that off before any dramatics happen. Mehmet Taski is also there. He's got Robert Ridgway and Clark Williams in behind them. They're having their own little bit of a ding-dong. Ridgway and Taski's getting closer. Ridgway's trying to go around the outside of turn number 10. This is going to be big, brave, and well done to Ridgway. He needs that room. Taski needs the room. He's going to be coming back at you again. I'm surprised Ridgway didn't go up the inside. Instead, he got it all wrong. Oh, now Williams is under attack.
Robert Ridgway is in a fighting mood. He had a very good race last week, did Robert Ridgway. Finishing where he ended up. Lee Aberdeen with a new fast lap of the race. The new lap time for him is a 1:32.1, so in the low 32s they are putting lap times in now. Now Robert Ridgway last week, he ended up finishing in 3rd position. A podium finish for Robert Ridgway, which is not often we say that, but he did a terrific job.
Go on,
he
son.
makes his way through on Mehmet Taski.
Oh, nice move. Round the outside of 1, got the inside for 2. Williams is now going to have the outside of Taski going into turn number 3. Through 3 they go now. Williams didn't quite stay there. It was 4 there. He had to try and stay alongside. Couldn't quite do that one for Ridgway, for Williams, sorry. So they're going to have to go again. Aberdeen, Jimenez, Amal pulling away now from Andy Flynn. It's 4 tenths from Flynn. 1.5. They've dropped Ranson off the back. 2.2. Fessy still bringing Dodderer with him. Dodderer's not made any moves. He's not having a go. I don't know why Fessy's defended. It's been obvious that Dodderer hasn't been going for it. We've been keeping an eye on him there, Simon. Just drive your line. I don't think Dodderer's going to worry. He'll have a go at you a little bit later on. Further back, Ridgway, Taski, Williams are mixed up in their own little battle as well. So still a few pockets of battles to keep an eye on here, guys, before the end of this race. And one of them has got to be Aberdeen and Jimenez.
When does Jimenez decide to go for it? Well, this is the closest we've seen Jimenez, so if I was Jimenez, I'd go for it here.
Good,
on
son.
the inside is the Spaniard for the lead here. He does it, outbreaks Aberdeen. Blended stuff from the Spaniard.
Yeah, but look at the problem in front. Look at the problem in front. It's Quinton Mortier, Ngai and Matthew Gracie. Back markers here as well. You've got to look in your bigger picture. The problem is these guys are fighting each other. They're in their own little battle. Gracie's in a battle with Vega. None of these are going to want to yield at all, but Jimenez is coming onto the back. It's now back marker traffic. It's now do or die, because if Jimenez gets through and Lee Aberdeen doesn't, it's Jimenez's opportunity to make a bump for it. It's his job. It's his opportunity to do a runner. So now Tony Jimenez has really got to pick up where he's going to have a go at Mortier. Is he going to try and do it down into 10? Mortier's just got to run his line. Drag Jimenez along with him. The later down the straight they leave it, the longer it's going to be. Aberdeen's going to go through as well. Did Amal get through? Just about. Flint did not get through on Mortier. That's going to cause Flint a problem. Amal's off. Amal's off. He's cooked it coming out of 10.
He's got to rejoin safely. He put a wheel in the gravel.
No, he's just trying to accelerate too quick.
Yeah. Got greedy on the throttle, and around she went.
But this back markers has mixed this up now, because it's just Aberdeen and Jimenez, because Flint's 1.8, Ranson's 1.2, 2.2 back from that one as well. The gaps are increasing. 0.6, 1.5, 2.9, 5.2. That's from the leader right at this moment in time. Tony Jimenez cannot afford to lose any more time. He has to stay with Aberdeen. He's got to go on through the traffic at exactly the same time as Aberdeen does. If he doesn't do that, Aberdeen's won, Jimenez second, and it'll be a battle between him and Flint.
Well, we'll see when the pair of them go through the back markers, through Camster Corner, which is not everyone's favourite corner in all honesty. It's very easy to get it wrong through there. We have seen incidents at that particular bend involving Matthew Gracie earlier on. But Jimenez is heading down this back straight as he watches Lee Aberdeen put a lap on Vega before they get to turn 10. And it won't be too long before Jimenez follows suit. So he has to get by this back marker as soon as he can here. Yeah. Does Vega stay out of the way?
He's got to go.
No, he doesn't.
You've got to go, Tony, because if you don't go, Aberdeen's gone. Aberdeen is down the road. He's already on the run to the next racetrack. You've got to go with him, Tony. You have to stay with him. The problem is you're bringing Flint with you. And now there's going to be Flint, Jimenez, Aberdeen. Does Flint go for the battle with Jimenez? Does he just use Jimenez as a pull and go up and go forward with him? This is all sorts of questions that can affect this race in the next 9 laps. If it gets to 4 laps to go, Tom, I could basically just say Flint and Aberdeen and Jimenez go for it, because you're not going to get Aberdeen. But if it's still very close with 4 laps to go, I'd be very precarious to see these two fighting, because if Aberdeen is there and they've got a chance of catching him, which at the moment is looking very, very unlikely, well, I would say leave each other alone.
I would probably agree with that. And Aberdeen's just got by his latest back marker of Matthew Gracie. Jimenez and Flint have still yet to dispose of that back marker, so that's going to give Aberdeen a little bit of a buffer, because they're coming towards the final sector of the lap. And this is the least ideal part of the circuit to get held up at. And in fact, Matthew Gracie does get out of the way of both Jimenez and Flint. They're going through it, and I don't think there's going to be any more back markers between now and the end of the race, JP. This is a straightforward fight.
Yeah, it's going to be a straightforward ding-dong. I feel on that one. There is no more now. It's going to be Aberdeen. It's 27th place, which is Distilly, and he's coming down into turn 1. Jimenez is in the biggest, he's going to be in the biggest scrap here, because for him at this moment in time, he lost 1.8 seconds on that last lap, and he's only pulled back 300ths. He's got to get more here from Tony Jimenez. We need more out of the Spaniard, the defending champion. He's literally going to lose his championship by next week, I think, depending on the drop rounds and how they add. It's going to be very, very interesting indeed here. And I am more than worried if we add the 2 drop weeks now, Aberdeen's out in front by 10 points. Aberdeen is still out in front by 10 points with 2 drop rounds added right now. So it's still Jimenez is to lose here, Tom, and Ridgway's got to slow down.
Yeah. Well, the things with Aberdeen, considering he's got so many top 2 finishes this season, think a couple more, and that's championship wrapped up, because the only way for Aberdeen to improve his score would be to win. And Jimenez, well, he has to win the remaining ones, and it's impossible.
But it's not impossible for Tony to win. It's just going to be tough because we're going to Bathurst. That's, you know what I mean? One mistake at Bathurst and it's game over. Adios, see you later. You're down the bottom. You know what I mean? You're in the mountain. And that's the thing. If we were going to, I don't know, say Watkins Glen, I would sit back and go, a little bit tougher, because Watkins Glen, we know what goes on. And we know where everything can happen, and Tony Jimenez should effectively be able to win, but Lee Aberdeen might be speedy at Watkins Glen. But we're going to Bathurst, and that is Quarry, from Quarry upwards, right the way through to Forest Elbow. It is literally prey. And if somebody goes and decides that they want to take it free wide, it's going to be absolutely bonkers. So, yeah, I think Jimenez, these are the tracks he needs to be winning at. Tracks like Catalunya, tracks like Monza, and Bathurst, well, just pray and hope for the best.
Robert Ridgway fell down the order, or at least dropped a place or something, since he had that slowdown. And Denny Cornu, I'll mention him again, he's up to 16th place. He's got Kuji Ito, who's like another 1.5 seconds ahead of him. So it's been a relatively decent recovery from Denny Cornu after being at the back after the contact he had with Stefan Dodderer. And that's Marek Ortlovs, who's right behind Ben Goya at 4th position.
Yeah, Ortlovs chasing down Goya here. So the battle further down. See on the left-hand side is down for 18th and 19th. They were very, very close at the minute. Simon Fessi is another one who's going to have Stefan Dodderer in front of him. They've obviously swapped, in fact, they swapped places 4 times here. What went on here between Dodderer and Fessi? Fessi got it wrong. Dodderer goes through. Fessi comes back. Dodderer's now going to cut back underneath him on the exit. Fessi again gets it out of the corner, and Dodderer gets him again. So they've been swapping places 3 or 4 times already. So a great job from Dodderer and Fessi, and now Fessi is having another go at Dodderer and can't quite get the job done.
Bar the incident he had with Denny Cornu earlier, it's been a relatively strong race for Stefan Dodderer.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. He's up into 5th at the moment. Great job from him. Absolutely amazing job. The gap has come down. It has come down up front, down to 1.2. So I will keep an eye on it. There it is. Flint's also closed in as well. So now this is Tony Jimenez's final throw of the dice, would you say?
He's got to give it everything. As Lee Aberdeen gets he has a connection issue. I hope that's not what I think is going to lead to something here. I can't see him on the screen. The timing toe keeps flickering. This is quite ominous, James, because if Aberdeen's not appearing on screen, this could change the complexion in the championship battle, couldn't it?
No, he's back. He's out. He's back. He's off somewhere. Oh, where has he gone? Where has he gone? He's back again, in and out, back again, in and out. He's there now. Maybe somebody's just gone out and fed the hamster for Lee Aberdeen and is now running at full pace. But yeah, that was a freaky moment for Lee Aberdeen, and the gap's back out at 1.4.
I was hoping you'd come up with an analogy to that, James, because the way he was flickering across the timing tower.
Well, I didn't really know what to say, because although he represents the Australian flag, this is one thing I'm never quite sure of with Lee Aberdeen. Whether or not he's actually in Australia, because that would put these races very early in the morning. So whether or not he is actually in Australia, and I know a lot of Australians, and their internet is shocking. And I do mean pigeon internet. A carrier pigeon would probably carry the data quicker than their internet does. So if he's in Australia, I understand it, but I never know full well whether or not he is, or if he's in the UK, which then could be hit and miss, to be honest with you.
Further down the order, Denny Corney's moved up to 15th place. He's got by Kuchi Ito, who's also lost another position to Richard Van Veen, who has gone through. Denny Corney's now 1 second behind Scott Taylor. And can he make up any more positions? Well, the leader's got 5 laps to go. Jimenez has got to give it his all now. He's got to give it his all.
Yeah, agreed. Absolutely agreed here for Tony Jimenez. He's got to just full bore go for it. And unfortunately, has he got it in the locker? That's the question. Has he got it in the locker for this to happen with him? Has Tony Jimenez got the speed? Is it going to be one of these moments where we sit back and Jimenez will be like, gutted. I missed that one. I should have done better.
Fessy and Dodder are so close to each other as well in the fight for 5th place. As the laps continue to wind down. In terms of other battles, well, Ito's on the rear of Richard Van Veen again, so Ito's been able to recover after a mistake that he made. It looks like he's going to go through on Veen at turn number 1. He's done so. That's him back into 16th place. Cornu half a second off Scott Taylor in their own respective battle. We're looking at
there's been a mistake.
Julio Palazzo.
There has been something happening here because now you can see Simon Fessy in behind. He's got in front of Dodderer. He got him down into turn 1. So that's that one, but they're also still going after this, and Palacio's now on the back of this one as well, Tom. Oh, Fessy's tyres are cooking.
Yeah.
He's got the slides on.
I just wonder who's kept the tyres within the window and who hasn't. On an abrasive track like Barcelona, they're not the kindest on tyres, are they?
No. They are definitely not.
He slides again, look. Through 1 does Simon Fessy. He's all over the place trying to get back in line on the racetrack, and Dodderer is still not able to find a way through, and this is allowing Palazzo to get back into the battle. No way through just yet for...
It's got him now. Surely he's got him. Look how wide Fessy is. Fessy's either opened up the steering and Dodderer has tightened it up, and he did do that. And Dodderer just cannot get here as well. Fessy's tyres are... They're cooking. Cooking. Into 7, through the left. Take the curb. Now take the curb on the exit. Leave that sausage curb alone, no. Otherwise you will be in trouble. Now into 9. Dodderer should have opened that up a little bit more.
He took too much curb on the entry to Campster, did Dodderer, and that explains why he's off tilt a little bit. He's gone way too deep into 10. He was offline slightly. Yeah, he's offline slightly, and that's because he's having to fend off Palazzo, who's directly alongside. He's slotted back in behind Dodderer now as Palazzo. So what was a battle between Fessy and Dodderer has turned into a battle between Dodderer and Palazzo. Robert Ridgway is also in a fight with Jimmy Santos for 9th position. As we enter the final few laps of this, there is Robert Ridgway. Now coming out of the last corner now. Is he close enough to attack? Surely he's got to go for it, really. Does Ridgway. DeSantos defends. He doesn't want to be weaving too many times. He's moved twice already. He doesn't want to move again here, does DeSantos. I don't think he will do this time around. Ridgway has a little sniff just to put him off a little. And DeSantos a little bit offline. Does Ridgway go to the outside? It'll be brave for him to try and get all the speed he can, all the way towards turn number 4.
Go on, son. Trying to carry that outside line. Marbles.
On the marbles. It's on the marbles, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, marbles done there. And that brought Robert Ridgway around. Simon Fessy's got to slow down.
Yep. I don't know how he's managed to do that, Fessy, because he was running strong ahead of Dodderer. It looks like he's made an error of his own, hence why he had that slowdown. Yeah,
and he's got it off straight away. He did try and run it off. He almost sort of stopped because he's lost time to Yunis Amal, who's got Palazzo and Dodderer. So whatever, Simon Fessy kind of almost hit the brakes almost to get the slowdown off rather than trying to run it off. But these guys still carrying on their fight at the moment. Palazzo, Matthew Gracie's got to meatball. Not entirely sure. Oh, what did you do? Whatever you did, you gave yourself a meatball. Oh. That doesn't look overly dramatic, does it, to be blatantly honest with you? I'm not quite sure what Matthew Gracie got himself up to. But look at Yunus Amal, Palacio, Dodera, all going for it still.
All that leftover gravel on the entry to turn 3, which is not the most ideal thing to see in the world for a racing driver to head through on the racing line. But we are in the final stages of this race, and Yunus Amal thinks that 6th place is still in the offing for him. And still wait and see whether he might try and go for it on Dodera by the time they get to turn 1, because that's realistically the final opportunity for any overtakes to happen.
Yeah. It's got to be now. It's going to be the final lap this time around as well. So Lee Aberdeen is going to come over that line. He's got 2.4 seconds at the moment here. What did he do last week? Where did he finish last week?
Lee Aberdeen.
Oh, 25th.
25th, yeah.
His run of 8 consecutive races in 1st or 2nd came to the end. He's dropping a 25th and a 2nd at the moment, if we carry on. Final lap of the race, Lee Aberdeen over the line. Tony Jimenez is now going to be on the Andy Maverick Flint. He's going to have a go at Jimenez down into... Oh, Tony! You naughty rascal there. That was very, very late. Very, very late as Flint pulled out. Andy Flint, Flint come out, and then Jimenez come over. Oh, that was a late defense. That was very reactive there from Andy Flint and not proactive, from Tony Jimenez, and not proactive at all. Flint's going to keep going at him once more. Can he get this job done? Oh, that's I think that's Yukish.
It is, yeah.
Yukish is just giving himself some drama.
And someone else is slowing down further ahead. Mehmet Taski's also got a slowdown, but this battle has allowed Aberdeen to shoot further away, and it's going to be win number 5 of the campaign. And this is Yunus Amal. I think this is connection issues that's faulted him.
He's put it in the... He's done something here for Yunus Amal. I think he just gives up, to be blatantly honest. He's just, right, I've had enough. That's it. I'm taking my steering wheel and I'm going home. Yukish, on the other hand, did this. This is going to be on the... Oh, Marbles first starting off with, and then around, unfortunately, he goes and then just kind of sits there for Alexei Yukish, but it is going to be Lee Aberdeen. He's got one more corner to go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages. Your winner resumes every race in the top 2. Lee Aberdeen takes the victory. Tony Jimenez holds on. The Maverick doesn't get him this time. It's 1, 2, 3. Aberdeen, Jimenez, and Andy Flynn. Great racing. Ludovic Rancon over the line in 4th, and then Julio Palacio comes over in 5th. He does get Stefan Dodera towards the end of that. And this is how they ended up swapping to be, down into turn 1. I should have kind of known that was coming, Tom, shouldn't I, really?
This is Bledsoe to the outside of Dodera, who's driven a relatively clean race this evening, but Bledsoe took the place from Dodera right at the end, and 5th place finish in a well-deserved drive from Bledsoe. He did a super job today. Yeah,
absolutely stunning run there as well. There's Denny Corn, who's still out on the racetrack. He's just come over the line. And we've got Townsma. They're very close with him and Otlovs. I think Otlovs is going to take that one. So Townsma rounds out the top 20. Then we got McKenzie. Eddie Amos has recovered. He's up 3 places, mind you, and he recovered from his earlier drama. And he's come over the line in 22nd place. So fair play to Eddie Amos for carrying on there, because there was a lot of people that probably would have quit out Yunus Amal, as Dorian Oruro goes over the line at the same time with Paul Distelli, who's going to come in behind him as well. That wasn't bad at all, to be honest. I was a little bit worried about Catalunya, but I'm not quite sure I felt like I needed to.
Well, I'm sure there'll be more to come when you and Dean are in the box for next week of Mount Panorama. It's a shame, because I'd love to have been involved in that. Consider how chaotic Mount Panorama can put on that kind of treat down under. But that could be where the title is decided, JP. And Lee Aberdeen, well, he's got one hand on the trophy. Yeah,
absolutely. Right, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring you up the results. Lee Aberdeen is your winner with Tony Jimenez in second, Andy Flint in third, then Ludovic Rancon in fourth, then Julio Palacio gets fifth, and Stefan Dodderer got a resounding sixth. Great job from him. Simon Fessi got seventh with Jimmy DeSantos eighth, Robert Ridgway ninth, then Mehmet Taski, Clark Williams, Albert Harari. Denny Corney recovered to 13th. That's important. Good result for Denny after that problem. Then Scotty Taylor and then Koji Ito a little bit further back. Richard Van Veen, didn't see much of him in 16th with Goyette and Boyle in behind that. Marek Otlov's got 19th. Townsman rounds out the top 20. John McKenzie 21st. Then Eddie Amos, Dorian Aruro, Paul Stistelli and Eunice Hamau all the way down in 25th. Then Mike Osh, Quentin Mortier, Bayard and Aya, Matthew Gracie, Alexi Yukish, Christian Vega, and Nguyen in Nathan Rosso, who might have the start looked at for gaining 8 places, I think it was as well. A little bit weird. Then Johnny Cazorla rounds out 34th. Then Noel Richie Robertson and Simone Gabrielli there as well. I thoroughly enjoyed that one, Tom. Looking forward to Bathurst. Can Lee Aberdeen wrap the championship up next week?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, Jimenez has to hope that he has an absolute mare of it next time out and to have any form of chance, really, considering that Jimenez has not won a race yet this campaign. Next weekend, he has to win it.
Agreed. I do fully agree with you there as well. For Tony Jimenez, it's going to be vitally important. Right, guys, that's going to wrap up tonight's broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us. I've been JP. I've been alongside Tom Cairns. And as always, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we must see you on the track sometime. Good night.
Cool.